Hello, we are team 19458 Equillibrium.EXE. My name is Sherry, and me and my teammates, Kate, Vanutha, and Billy, will be presenting today about our fourth year running our summer program. So let's get started on an overview of our summer season. So some goals we had was, first of all, to get students and parents attending our program excited and actually interested in FTC. Not only that, but also successfully and smoothly run students through a mock FTC season. So we actually created a new FTC game for this mock season by taking game elements from past seasons to make a more simple or simplified FTC game. We also train parents who are interested in becoming coaches, so when the actual season starts, they are familiar with FTC. We hosted our weekly meetings on Saturdays 1 to 4 p.m., mid-June to mid-August, because we found that that was the most convenient time. Next slide. Okay. So this is our actual summer program schedule or agenda. So it was a 9-week course where from week 1 to 4, we introduced different things like tools, building systems, hardware, software, and other things like gracious professionalism. Students were also able to assemble Schaefer kits and learn basic block programming. And then from week 5 to 8, students get to be creative and unique when designing and building their own subsystems for the program. In the 9th week or the last week, students compete in the summer competition where we try to replicate an actual FTC qualifier as closely as we could.
Originally, we ran our summer game out of a team member's basement. As we gathered more participants, we found we could no longer use the same small venue. So we then decided to meet individually with each of the teams. This approach needed a lot of time to work properly. So next year, we ended up renting out a middle school so we could meet with all teams at the same time. After that, we formed a partnership with an educational institution so that we could have a more flexible schedule and kids could build, listen to presentations, and use a practice field all in the same building. The most important part of running a summer program is finding participants to actually join your program. We advertise our summer program by hosting multiple outreach events where we would display our robot, talk about FTC, and direct those interested in joining to our summer game so that they could gain relevant experience before the season starts. We also attended FLL events where we talked about the next level of competition to coaches and participants and use our summer game as a way to bridge the gap between Legos and metal. To choose teams, we used a coaches meeting where our coaches would meet individually with the student and parents so that they could figure out things such as geographical location, vacation schedules, and general availability so that they could meet easily and often.
So as a part of our summer program, we also offer companion classes such as CAD and Java. A lot of teams wouldn't be able to make the complex robots that they do without these tools, and from personal experience as well, they're extremely valuable. So these classes weren't really meant to be, they weren't meant to make them masters at these skills, but more of act as an introduction. And obviously the students will get better as they practice, as they go through a real season. So for our CAD class, it was split into 6 sessions in total, half being part studios, the other half being assemblies. So first for part studios, we got our students familiarized with Onshape, definitely went through Onshape parts library, that's a big one. Then going through the toolbar and then just going through all the different things they could do and then some practice. On the right, you can see a Lego block over here, a chair over here, and then an activity we did is that we let them make an intake for the previous season. So right here is a claw to hold a pixel from center stage. So the next 3 classes were all assemblies. So we basically did the same thing that we did for part studios, but with assemblies. So going through the mates, demonstrating what you can do, how to navigate it. And then as practice, we went through a Strafer kit assembly right here. So you can see here, we have one wheel assembly completely done. And we wanted our students to be able to troubleshoot on their own and do some practice because like that's how it's going to be in an actual season. So we wanted we made them we gave the rest 3 corners to do as homework so they could like learn a bit on their own. And then our last session was combining part studios and assemblies. And then we wanted them to try to fully CAD their summer robot. And then once they were done with that, we just basically went through things that we thought we were useful in CADing, like venting, pocketing, like feature scripts, custom drivetrain, things like that. For our Java class, the first 2 sessions were just Java fundamentals, like variables, arrays, control structure, and loops. Sessions 3 and 4 were about Java for FTC, so first teleop and then auto. Like on the right here, you can see a photo of how we did it. So each like group over here is actually testing their code on their summer robot so they can troubleshoot it, check for bugs, see how it runs, and like actually see their work being implemented. All right. So now the FTC summer coaches training. So new coaches equals new teams. So any new teams needs coaches. So we wanted to give parents thinking about coaching an opportunity to feel how coaching a team would feel. Because a lot of parents could be apprehensive about it because like the time investment, the cost, they don't really know what they're doing. So us, along with our mentors, got together to basically teach them everything that they needed to know to like coach a team. So this could be anything from starting a team, selecting members, like preparing for qualifiers, management, like finances. And then it even included the technical aspects as well. Basically just a feel of how a real competition and how a real team would run.
After 8 weeks of the summer program, where students learned how to build and program their own robot and attend Java and CAD classes, they competed in a mock qualifier that our team hosted. This mock qualifier is a simulation of how an actual FTC qualifier would feel on a normal day. In this mock qualifier, we made our own game made out of past season materials to replicate how an FTC season would go. We had inspection in the beginning and real experienced judges walking around doing pit interviews with teams. Also, my teammates cued the teams to get set for the next match. As you see on the right side, there's a photo of judges that is pit interviewing one of the teams that was there to compete. In the past years, we found that our summer program was very effective, seeing that 4 new teams were formed last year. As for our summer program wrapping up, there were virtual meetings with each parent and student to hear their opinion on how the summer program went. We are still in the process of seeing what new teams could be made. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. So it looks like we just got a message in the chat. How do you get funds to do these activities? Would you ask the new teams to bring their own kids?
So what we did is that so like start off with a lot of these kids, like it's their first time doing anything related to FTC. So we compiled a list of parts that we thought like it's a good starter, like the strafer kit to like starting, then like some U channels, quad mounts, bearings, things like that. Common things that they'll probably need when they're building like their own subsystems. And then we put that in like bins and then handed it out to them. For the funds, we got donations and then we also brought in other teams as well because it was a large crowd. It was we got more than we expected, so we got help from other teams as well.
Okay, great. So does anyone in person have a question? Yes. I'll bring the mic over to you.
So would you continue this program for the coming summers? And would that be virtual or?
Did y'all get that?
Would you mind repeating the question, please?
Yeah, sure. The question was, are y'all doing this program only this year, or are you doing next year? And is it only in person, or can you also have virtual accommodations?
So far we've done the program for 4 years, and we plan on doing it next year as well. Most of the classes are only in person, but we do offer the CAD class virtually. So I'm sorry to anyone who isn't geographically close.